we can expect going forward?
I mean, raw material prices have gone up, and so have the finished product prices. So overall, prices have moved in tandem with raw material prices. If you look at, again, the overall profitability per ton, whatever, there are some slight improvements over there. And that is, like I said, on account of operating leverage and some, cost savings that we have achieved. But of course, they are not of the same order of magnitude that you have mentioned, because just looking at a price is not going to be able to tell you the whole story.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Nilesh Saha from Julius Baer. Please go ahead.
I don't know how to take out of the system. I have given it to you.
Hi. Are you able to hear me?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we are able to hear you, sir. Please.
Okay. Great. Just one question from my end. Right. So, in your earlier calls, you have made a comment that something like 65 to 70% of the ABS that is sold is sort of specialty grade, which we understand is a customized grade that you are supplying to, a particular OEM, could be an auto or a appliances OEM, to meet certain, certain features on strength, durability, right? Could you comment on, on the nature of those contracts, right? From a realization and pricing point of view, right? The reason I'm asking this is because I'm trying to better appreciate, why the spreads are a bit volatile. Because, I'm sort of struggling to understand that at least for this piece, your what would be the dependence of your realizations for this piece on, global ABS prices? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. Since Mr. Saab, since we have taken over management control in November 22, and having more control over the business, say in the quarter, post that, in terms of spreads that you see, there is a incremental improvement on an annualized basis. But the volatility that you're alluding to is probably more to do with pricing rather than with spreads. There has not been a lot of volatility since situation has normalized as far as the global markets are concerned. So we don't see a lot of volatility here. When we talk about specialized ABS or specialized or customized products that we give to customers, it's very difficult for me here to tell you how those spreads work, because there are thousands, if not more SKUs which are made as per the need of that customer, and depending on the complexity of the product grade that needs to be made, the spreads can vary quite significantly. In terms of ABS, we sell ABS based on obviously its base properties, which is impact strength, it is chemical resistance, it is tensile, ductility, processability. But then, of course, we can make high heat ABS, we can make electroplating ABS, paintable ABS, super high impact ABS, high gloss ABS, and anti-static ABS, UV resistant ABS, and many such properties can be imparted to the product based on how you customize it, how you produce it. And even within that, there are hundreds of colors which can be produced and hundreds of additional properties which can be imparted to the ABS. So to go into detail and explain to you how each of these grades, how the realization work is virtually impossible.
I was just generally asking, the nature of the contract. So, so is it based on, the sort of pricing of ABNS plus a markup, or is there a linkage of the, of the global ABS spread or ABS price that is observed? I wanted a qualitative color on the nature of the contracts, not anything specific to do with the various products you must be selling?
Yeah. So, it would be in line with a kind of a cost plus basis, right? So, depending on what my input costs are on raw materials, and those raw materials would be determined by publication pricing, which is ABNS, as you correctly pointed out. Beyond that, whatever the difficulty or complexity is, would be added on in terms of margin.
Right. And then these have some sort of a reset frequency, right?
Yeah. So these are decided on a monthly basis because the pricing on raw materials changes on a monthly basis, and so would our contracts reflect that.
Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Aditya Khaitan from SMFS. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the opportunity. So my first question is on to the ABS part. Sir, is it possible to quantify, what would be the utilization level of ABS we have operated in this quarter and in FY24, and similarly in polystyrene?
So,
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. We have lost your audio. Can you hear us?
Mr. Khaitan?
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. We lost your audio. Can you repeat with the answer?
Yeah, I'm asking, is Mr. Khaitan referring to capacity utilization when he talks about utilization?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, capacity utilization.
So, capacity utilization is, near full utilization every single quarter. Like I mentioned, when we do debottlenecking, we realize, there is a scope for additional volumes which can be produced. Now, debottlenecking is a very broad catch-all term that we are using. We also do process improvements. We also do technology improvements along with that, and that helps us realize higher volumes. And that's a continuous exercise. But we are at any point of time operating on full capacity at that particular point in time.
Got
or
it.
have been for the last 5 quarters.
Got it. Sir, onto the ABS, sir, when we look at the data for the past 2 years and today, we have witnessed that the ABS spreads have gone up by almost 30 to 40%. So now you are saying that the global spreads are almost in line as compared to last year. But the data suggests that currently we are trading at around 30 to 40% premium in terms of spreads, and that is also reflected in your numbers. So just wanted to know this improvement in spread is only because of the shipping cost or the ocean freight, or there are some structural changes like which is happening. Either it could be because of lower imports from Korea or any other factor like which you can allude to.
We can take this question offline because I think your data and our data is a little bit different. If you see, basically when you compare spreads, the only data which is normally available at a global level is your general injection molding ABS grade. If I track the spreads on general injection molding ABS grade, and I have that entire data for the last 2 years, there is absolutely no change. So when you say it's increased by 30 to 40%, we can take this question offline and we'll be very happy to answer it for you.
Got it, sir. Sir, on to the ABS, sir, you had mentioned, so we are also funding the capacity. Any sort of a CapEx figure we have outlined, so from 85,000 tons, taking this capacity to around 2 lakh tons, what would be the CapEx figure?
So like I mentioned, in this year, we are targeting about 105,000 tons or 100 to 105,000 tons of ABS. We are in line to do that. To go from 105 to 210,000, and of course, polystyrene also to go from 100 to 150,000 tons. We have outlined an overall capex guidance of about 650 crores. We'll have detail on that very shortly. So hopefully, in the next few months, where we will know exactly what will be the cost and how much, would be the spend over the next few years and in which quarters. So that detailing has yet to be done, but that was broadly the number which we had given earlier, and that remains to be the case until we get more detail from our engineering studies.
Got it. And such as one last question. Sir, on to the other expenses, the benefit which we have got in this quarter. So this we can assume it for the full fiscal FY25?
Again, there will be a function of product mix. There will also be a function of specific seasonality in certain quarters. There could be factors which can help us, but you see there is an overall base spread which doesn't change too much or is not very volatile. There could be certain, temporary or momentary changes which may happen. Like I said, we have not given any guidance, but you can consider whatever is happening currently as the normalized, sustainable scenario.
Got it. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Dhara from Value Plus Investment. Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking my question. So my first question is on getting more clarity on the debottlenecking exercise that we're doing. So I just want to understand, this will open up how much capacity for us? Is it like 60,000 tons? The reason why I'm asking this question is because will we face capacity constraints before our doubling of capacity comes in FY28? If you can help me clarify this.
So prior to us taking over management, the capacity of ABS or the maximum production or sales of ABS based on own produced products was close to around 65,000 tons, which last year we did about 90,000 tons of ABS. This year we are targeting between 100 to 105,000 tons of ABS. This is all by virtue of debottlenecking. So going from 105 to 210 is the larger kind of brownfield expansion which will help us double the capacity. How fast it can happen, whether it can happen in a modular fashion, and what will be the exact dates of commissioning, we'll give more information on that. But initially we had given a broad guidance of 28. But, we believe that it can be done sooner, and we'll have exact information in the next few months on that.
So, sir, when you mention sooner, does it mean that you can do it in a phased fashion, or the entire capacity needs to come online at one time? Can it be?
I think we'll have to wait for a month or two to share that information. Once we have it, we'll share that with you.
Okay. And what would be the total capacity, ABS, SAN, polystyrene and blends, all the capacity put together? What is the total capacity that we have today?
So right now it's going to be about 200,000 tons on for the full year. I think we have given that guidance as well, where we have mentioned 200,000 tons for this year. The increases also we have demonstrated or kind of indicated in the last a few investor presentations ago. So you can refer to that, and that number would still remain valid as far as our current planning is concerned.
Okay, sure. Thank you. That answers all my questions.
Yeah, most welcome.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Pratik Singhania from Sage One Investments. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. So with respect to adding on to Dhara's question, with respect to the existing capacity, in last quarter's presentation, for ABS, it was mentioned that the existing capacity is 85,000 tons, and for PS it is 66,000 tons. But because of your internal efficiency and process measures, you said in FY24 you did a total production of 90,000 tons, right? So, sir, similarly, for end of Q1 FY25, because of your own process improvement, what is the monthly or quarterly production capacity? Not the stated one, but the capability of the company to manufacture tonnage of ABS and polystyrene per quarter, how it would be?
So whatever we have produced in this quarter is the maximum that we can produce. Okay. In next few quarters, there is debottlenecking which is happening on ABS, which will help us produce more. I think on the overall annualized basis, we are still on track to reach the number that we have mentioned, which is about 100 to 105,000 tons.
Right. So basically, in terms of number, if I can assign a number, because I'm asking the historical number. So at the end of this Q1 FY25, what would be the capability in terms of it would be similar 22,500 tons per month per quarter for ABS?
Well, if we are talking about producing 105,000 tons, that number would be, a little bit higher, right? It would be closer to 25,000 tons or 26,000 tons. And that is what, in fact, is the current capacity.
Okay, so we have already debottlenecked the ABS capacity to 105.
No, we have not. We have done it, but we are very close to it. Balance part of it will be done in the next quarter, and then we'll reach that exact number.
Okay. And sir, currently, what is our HRG capacity? How much we can produce per month?
So HRG capacity is 24,000 tons, and that is currently the case. Again, there will be some debottlenecking over there in the next quarter, which will help us produce more HRG.
10-15% debottlenecking can be achieved over here?
Yeah.
Okay. And sir, when you'll be saying that you'll be adding the capacity for ABS by debottlenecking, so we will not be sacrificing on our SAN tonnage, right? It will be incremental volume that will be added, or we have to.
No, that is correct. SAN, we have in fact additional capacity already in place, so we will not have to sacrifice any SAN tonnage.
Okay. And so similarly, if you can tell me about polystyrene, like 66,000 tons, is it still at 66,000 tons per annum, or you have done some kind of a debottlenecking for it to have some midpoint of, say, 80,000-85,000 as of now?
So, SAN is currently at that capacity, what you have mentioned. In the next quarter, that debottlenecking exercise should be completed, and on an annualized basis, of course, it would be 100,000 tons. But for this year, because of some time lost during the debottlenecking exercise itself, the overall capacity of the H, like you mentioned, would be, or polystyrene would be around 75,000 to 80,000 tons.
Okay, great. And sir, best wishes, because like increasing 8,000 tons incrementally YOY at an incremental fixed cost of just 5 crores net is commendable. All the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Kunal Shah from Enam Investments. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Rahulji. Congratulations on the good set of numbers.
Thanks, Kunal.
Yeah, I have one question on SLAC. Can you just help me understand the raw material mix that SLAC is required to make SLAC? And also on SLAC, have you already started selling it in the market, or are we still in the customer approval phase?
So, Kunal, SLAC is composed of a different kind of a rubber, which is used, which will basically, like you have ABS composed of HRG and SAN for that matter. Similarly, for SLAC also, you would have ASA rubber, which would be its own kind of rubber, specialized rubber, along with SAN and SAN. So, it would be similar in terms of percentages that would be used. The rubber part, again, is something which we have developed, and we would be partly using our own, partly buying from outside as well. The SAN and MSAN pieces, of course, are pieces that we already have in-house available to use. So, that's ongoing. In terms of customer qualifications and validations, we have received some validations and some commercial orders have started, but these are still quite small, and we believe that the real benefit potentially will come towards the last quarter of this year.
Got it. Great. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Hemant, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
So thank you for providing me the opportunity, and congratulations on a very good set of numbers. So my question is pertaining to the stake sale by the promoter.
Yes.
So, if the prospects of the company are good and the future is very, very bright and promising, then why is there a stake sale by the promoter?
So, a few things, Hemant.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Hemant, can you mute your line from your side, please?
Sir, your voice is crackling.
Yeah, Hemant, can you mute your line from your side, please? Thank you. Sir, continue.
Yeah, Hemant, in terms of, the functioning of the company or prospects of the company, they remain very much in line with whatever we have been speaking about and what we believe. So that does not change. The stake sale is frankly a decision taken at the promoter level, which is considering the promoter's own options to retire certain debt which was taken for the acquisition of the shares itself. And there was of course a pledge also created as a result of that debt. We believe that in the interest of the company, in the interest of the shareholders, as well as the interest of the promoters, it made sense to dilute some equity so as to alleviate that part, and that is a decision that the promoter group has taken. Of course, it does not really have any bearing per se on the operations of Styrenix, for which we are talking about here. But to answer your question, I hope that addresses your concerns.
So, sir, you mean to say that some debt was taken in by the promoter in acquiring the company, and the stake sale was basically done to retire that debt?
That is correct.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Tushar Vasuja from Yogya Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Tushar.
Yes, I have a few questions and I'm a bit new to your company, so I'm sorry if they are a bit rudimentary in nature. But my first question is, can you give a revenue distribution based on the end industry that you serve?
So, Tushar, we produce two lines of products broadly, ABS and polystyrene. In ABS, we cater to the automotive industry. We cater to household appliances or large appliances, electronics, medical devices, small appliances, stationery, toys. Generally, the revenue mix is about 40% in automotive, similar percentages in household appliances. And then the other industries are, of course, smaller in nature. Polystyrene, on the other hand, again, is about 40-odd% in household appliances, similar percentage in packaging. And then the other industries, is where we have the rest of the sales.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And another thing that you mentioned a lot about debottlenecking. And you also mentioned a capex of 60 to 70 crore or somewhere about that for this year. So does that include the cost for the debottlenecking, or is it completely different expansion?
That's included.
Okay, that's included.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm asking a bit of a broad question because, how have things changed for the company since the management has changed?
So, we believe that the company has a very bright future in terms of growth prospects. I think that is one kind of management philosophy which has got reinstilled in the company and its management team. And in line with that philosophy, a lot of changes have happened in terms of product efficiency, in terms of projects that we are doing, in terms of customer relationships. So the entire kind of organizational structure, part of the organization of the company has changed and is more geared towards ensuring that we grow.
Okay, sir. Fair enough. Thank you for answering all my questions.
Sure.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Pritesh Chheda from Lucky Investment Managers. Please go ahead.
I have two questions, and I don't comprehend your answer in these two. So one on the freight side and the price increase. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Pritesh.
So on the freight side and the price increase, so what I happened to check with the traders was that at the end of June is where the prices of ABS have gone up on account of freight. And you were in short to mention the RM-related price increase or the bulk freight price increases and the price increase which has flowed in. But you didn't comment on the freight-related finished good price increases which have flowed in the month of June or the latter of month of June. Should we see that flowing in now in these quarters which are going to come by? That's first question. And my second question on the power and fuel costs, whatever projects you're implementing, can you quantify the absolute EBITDA range benefit on account of this power and fuel cost? And should one assume over and above this 19 rupees a kg EBITDA which flowed in the quarter one of this year?
So the overall ocean freight changes which have happened, in the Far East, which has an impact on finished goods and the market in India, is not reflected in the June quarter. There could be some impact of it in the current quarter. Of course, it would be speculative of me to comment on that, but this is data you can independently verify as well. With regards to your second question, which is on utility costs, which is power and fuel, I think there are a lot of projects, like I mentioned, on fuel, where we are commissioning, alternate fuel source utility operations, which are going to happen in this month and then consequently after 2-3 months as well. So all of this is going to lead to a EBITDA improvement. Again, we haven't given a guidance on exactly what that percentage will be, and it will be premature for me to do that right now, because we have to understand exactly what that will entail at full capacity utilization. But you will see the benefit of that incrementally, I think, from next quarter and in the full year for next year for sure.
Are these benefits material? So are they couple of percent type margin improvement? Can you give that kind of indication?
So, just to give you an idea, when we produce fuel, using natural gas, our cost is around 6.5 rupees a kg. When we use certain alternate fuels, the cost per kg can come down to as low as 2.5 to 3 rupees. So if you calculate and correlate that to overall fuel cost, you can see that it is fairly material.
Oh, perfect. So basically, freight-related benefits have not flowed in quarter one, is what you're concluding. They can come incrementally in quarter two onwards, and then you have the power and fuel cost saving to be built in over the quarter one number. That's a takeaway.
Right.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take that as the last question. I'll now hand the conference over to Mr. Chintan Doshi for closing comments.
Okay. Thank you, investors communities, for joining the call and showing interest in the company. And we look forward to answer you in the next investor call, which will be announced at suitable time in future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Styrenix Performance Materials Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.